Hey, what's up everyone? Markman81 back with another video. And this video will be discussing this week's episode of ROH on HDNet. So basically we have New Year and a new setting for the show, Louisville, Kentucky. And I gotta say I like the look of the arena on TV. The crowd was great. I actually like the fact that they were using the red ring ropes from, I'm assuming it's from the OVW, instead of the normal beat-up black cables that ROH normally uses. I think it was a good look, and I think they should probably just maybe stick with using ropes with the red tape. Yeah, but anyways, I'm going to get on to the first match, and it was Eddie Edwards taking on Mark Briscoe. And this was a TV title match, and this was a very, very good match. These two were very competitive. The crowd was solidly behind Eddie Edwards, but not like in the way where Eddie Edwards was the total babyface and Mark was kind of like, you know, heeled out by the fans. It was just more, they were showing respect to both these guys throughout the whole match, but they were definitely a lot more behind Eddie Edwards, more than they were Mark Briscoe. But yeah, it was a good match. Started off with some chain wrestling and then, you know, got action-packed, very stiff. If I were to lodge any complaint towards this match, it would probably be the fact that the commentators throughout this match they kept bringing up Eddie Edwards' shoulder that he hurt about a month prior to us at the Detroit show, Survival of the Fittest 2010. And Eddie Edwards was definitely selling that throughout the whole match, but there wasn't any single one occasion ever where Mark Briscoe ever once tried to work on the shoulder. But other than that, there was really nothing to complain about this match. Very good. It definitely shows that Jay Briscoe, if the Briscoe brothers were to do more solo matches, which is it kind of seems like the direction they're starting to take with them, that not only Jay could be very successful as a solo wrestler, but also Mark Briscoe. I think he proved tonight, probably more than any other night, he can definitely hang in singles matches, and I really thought he could in the first place. And yeah, so coming up next, we had a promo, I believe it was by Mike Mondo, formerly of the Spirit Squad in WWE. I don't remember what his name was that he used back then when he was doing it. Maybe it was Mike Mondo or some ridiculous name. I'm sure WWE Creative had given it to him at the time, but yeah, he just kind of like screeched his way through the promo. He's trying to be like big scary guy. And the thing I thought was kind of the funniest, he was calling himself the Giant Killer and Ring of Honor. And you know, let's face it, there's not too many, you know, guys that in Ring of Honor that you could call a giant. I mean, the biggest guys probably be like Claudio, Chris Hero, and Mike Mondo is not even, you know, he's not like a particularly like super tall guy, but he's not that small either. So I thought him just proclaiming himself to be the Giant Killer was kind of weird, especially when he was coming out to wrestle Grizzly Redwood, which I guess some way or somehow you have to see the irony in that. I mean, whatever, but for what it was, you know, it was a solid little match. I mean, it's nothing special. It wasn't hard to sit through. It was not going to kill you to watch it, but at the same time, if you don't see it, it's not like you're missing anything. So, yeah, it was what it was. Yeah, Mike Mondo kind of wrestled a decent old school style. I could think of at least one person that could wrestle that kind of style better than him, and that would probably be Adam Pearce, but, you know, he's been relieved of his booking duties in ROH, and he's right now the heavyweight holder for let's try this again, the NWA heavyweight champion. So I'm sure he's a little busy with that, but I think at some time Ring of Honor should try to get him back as an in-ring performer, because if there's anyone who could wrestle the old school style really great and cut great old school promos, it would definitely have to be the Scrap Daddy. But I don't really care after this if I don't ever see Mike Mondo again, but at the same time, it doesn't bother me to see him, I suppose. Just, I don't know, the way he just did that promo was just very screechy, and he looked more ridiculous. Like, I didn't, take him serious as a big guy that you should fear. Just, kind of came off like more like a big goof. I'm sure that means a lot coming from me, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, we had a couple of video packages. Actually, one was a promo with Claudio shooting on Homicide, likened him to an angry Puerto Rican who, and basically berating him for having a name like Homicide. You know, what kind of grown man has a name like Homicide? Just basically talking Homicide down. You know, Claudio's not the best promo guy, but he's very solid. He gets his point across, so I guess that's all that matters. And then you had it was a video package from Roderick Strong, David Richards from Final Battle 2010. Very good match. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. And then so yeah, next up we had the World's Greatest Tag Team taking on the Bravado Brothers. And when they came out, they were very over with the crowd. The World's Greatest Tag Team, that is. You know, they're chanting "Welcome back." Great ovation from the crowd. And so yeah, this was a squash match. Obviously, it was basically veterans, you know, versus the young guys. And you know, for what it was pretty fun though. But other than that, there wasn't too much to talk about. Just a good showing from both teams. I think the Bravado Brothers, they have a lot of potential. But you know, we'll see how that goes. I think they need something more to put them over the top. Because they obviously don't quite have what it takes to like really stand out as far as in-ring work goes. So seeing how the two Southern guys, if they kind of work on that whole Southern gentleman gimmick I've been reading about on the Ring of Honor webpage ever since the last Toronto show, when I believe they wrestled Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, and they were basically, was that them? And they got booed out of the building, and so they basically been leaving quotes, you know, for Ring of Honor on the website. You know, we're Southern gentlemen, so maybe they kind of have like this young cocky thing going on, and try to, you know, while at the same time trying to paint themselves as the good guys when they're really not. I think that could work well, and yeah, but other than that, you know, solid stuff here. Maybe nothing special, but it was fun. And on to the final match. It was Claudio versus Homicide. And when I originally started watching the show, I was wondering why they would put the TV title match, you know, on first and put this as the main event. But what are you gonna do, you know? And actually, you know, I thought the TV title match start first as the first show of the year. Now that I think about it, it was a pretty good idea. It was definitely an action-packed way to start the show. And yeah, but Claudio and Homicide, it wasn't too bad either. I mean, probably one of Homicide's better matches since he came back to the independent scene. And he worked surprisingly pretty well with Claudio. I wasn't expecting him to work this well. And Claudio definitely controlled the bulk of this match. But of course, that doesn't last forever. Homicide got his spots in. And there was one point where Claudio used the turnbuckle, took the turnbuckle pad off to try to use it to his advantage at some other point in the match. But, you know, that, of course, eventually came back to bite him in the ass. But, yeah, it was a very good showing by both these guys. Pretty solid main event. And a pretty solid episode to start the new year. And I definitely recommend checking it out. And with that, I'm Markman81. Later.